we are going to look at financial reporting intermediate. Financial reporting intermediate. Specifically, we look at preparation of financial statement for professional firm. For professional firm, and this is a CPA intermediate. We go to past paper, that is August 2022, question number 4B, intermediate financial reporting, August 2022, question number 4B. And the question reads, S&M are advocates operating under the name SM Advocates. The firm's trial balance for the year ended 30th June 2022 is as shown below. We have cost charged to client, work in progress, client for money held on their behalf, creditor receivable all the way to capital accounts. Additional information, it is estimated that debts amounting to $16,500,000 are uncollectible and should be written off. This is bad debt written off, it forms part of expenses. Depreciation should be provided at the rate of 20% per annum on the book value of the furniture, fittings and library books. The uncompleted work on 30th June 2022 was valued at $70,500,000. We are required 1. Prepare statement of profit or loss for the year ended 30th June 2022 and statement of financial position as at 30th June 2022. So let's start with the statement of profit or loss. This firm is an advocate firm. So we start with the name S&M Associates. We are preparing statement of profit or loss. Then for the year ended 30th June 2022. So we underline it that way. We can use one column here. So come here and say shillings in terms of thousand. We know these are profit or loss, meaning what? We are going to record the income, then the expenses incurred to generate those income. Now, this is an advocate firm. And the main income of lawyers or advocate, it is cost charged to clients. So here I come and say cost charged to client. Of course, up here you just write income. We start with income. One of the main income is cost charged to client, and it is 750,000 in terms of thousand. Higher. On top of that, we have a work in progress. And this work in progress, of course, there are the cases which have started but they are not yet completed. It forms part of the income of a lawyer. And we have work in progress brought forward, that is on 1st July 2021. Then when you go to note number 3, additional information number 3, we have uncompleted work on 30th June 2022 of 70,500,000. So what we do, when you have work in progress, we add work in progress carried forward, that is closing figure, and closing is the one in the additional information. That 70,500. Then we less work in progress brought forward. And this work in progress brought forward, of course, it is cases started in the previous period, and that is why we are lessing them. They lead to the previous financial year. We less 110, 400,000. We less 110, 400,000. Take 750,000 plus 7,500, you less 110, 400. We get around 710, 100. You can call this gross income. Why gross? Because we have not deducted any expenses. We now go to expenses. And expenses, we are given there, we have office expenses, I can see it there. Office expenses. We can record directly here and there, it is 25,500. Remember when we are minusing, we use brackets. Then we have postage and telephone, postage. We have postage and telephone, and it is amounting to 54,600, 54,600. We have printing and stationery. Here it is, printing and stationery. It is amounting to 105,000. We have rent and rates. Here it is, rent and rates, 180,000. We have salaries and wages. And these salaries and wages, it is amounting to 216,000. That is salary to staff, 216. We have another thing there called body debt, and this is bad debt written off according to note number 1. Body debt written off. Body debt written off. It is an expense, and it is amounting to 16,500. Then finally we record the depreciation here, and this according to note number 2. We are being told depreciation should be provided at the rate of 20% per annum on the book value of the furniture, fitting and library books. So we get 20% of the furniture, fitting and library book, and they are up there. It is amounting to shillings 135,000. 135,000. When you multiply 20% by 135,000, you get around 27,000. And remember, all this we are minusing. Now take gross income, you minus the total of expenses. Yes, someone to give us an answer there? Class? Yes? Yeah, let's confirm. I can hear you answer. Yes. Very good. Now, confirm on your end whether you are getting something to do with 500. That is the net profit. That is the net profit. So we are just required to know the income of this professional firm. And remember, professional firm can either be doctors, accountants, lawyers, engineers, so long as you know the source of income. Expenses are given directly there, and therefore that is how we prepare the profit or loss statement, or the income statement for that matter. Then we can prepare something called the balance sheet or statement of financial position. So let's go to Roman 2. Roman 2. Roman 2. Roman 2 is about the statement of financial position. Name is SM Associates. This is statement of financial position as at 30th June 2022. Remember this one, this is the balance sheet. So we are supposed to record assets, we record the capital, and then we record the liability. Asset, capital, and liability. So let's start with assets. Here you can record shillings in thousand. Here we have assets. We start with the non-current assets. Non-current assets. And we have only that furniture, fitting, and library book. Furnitures, fitting, and library book. The value given there is 135,000. We minus depreciation of 27,000. So we are being left with 108,000. We go to current assets. We go to current assets. And the current asset, we normally use the inventory. But now, in inventory of lawyers, it is the case in progress. So here we are, cases in progress. And as you know, balance sheet record the closing figures. When given two figures, we record the closing figures. You see? And therefore, the closing figure is on note number 3. It is 70,500 recorded there. Then we have receivables. And anytime you have receivable, we have receivable of 234,000. We deduct the bad debt written off. Written off. Because these are the debtors who are either being declared bankrupt. Some of them have died, and therefore we have no hope of recovering this money. We deduct bad debt written off from account receivable. Yeah, let's deduct 234,000 minus 16,500. We get to 17,500. From there, we have the cash at bank. And as you can see, we have two cash at bank. We have the client account and we have the office account. For the client account, we are having 74,400. This is the money held maybe on behalf of the client. Then we have ours, that is 167,100. Then we have disbursement on behalf of client. And when we talk of disbursement on behalf of client, we are talking about that money which the lawyer has released on behalf of client. So this is lawyer's money, but they have paid on behalf of the client, meaning they will recover this money from them. They will recover the money from client. So it is an asset. We do that, we get total assets. Someone to add for us. From here, from 108,000 all the way to 36,000. Take your calculator and give us the answer. Yes, I can hear someone telling us 673 500. That is the total asset. Once we are done with total asset, we go to capital and liability as usual. Capital and liabilities. We start with capital. Our capital here, you are being given it is 612,000. So we just recorded somewhere here. 612,000. Why? Because I want to adjust it. So we less drawings. Anytime you have withdrawn money from business, it reduces your capital. So we deduct drawings from capital. And we have a drawing of around 180,000. Then on top of that, I can see we are having a profit. We add the net profit. Which net profit is this? The one we calculated in the profit and loss. That one, someone to remind us? Yeah, it was 85,500. So we are taking capital, we less drawing, then we add net profit. If it were a loss, we just deduct. So that way we are going to get net capital inclusive of profit. And our net capital is around yes, 517. Then finally we go to liabilities. Just record there. Liabilities. In liabilities we start with creditors. There is a creditor there. And this creditor amount to 81,600. We have something called client money. You see, this account we are holding on behalf of this is the client money. We are supposed to record it in here, client money, and this money is also provided in that trial balance, then nothing else. Take 517, thousand plus 81,600 plus 74,400. How much are we getting? 517. Remember, this is 81,600. This one. 81,600. How much? Oh, someone is telling me this is not a 517, but rather it is 517,500. Sorry for that. This is 517,500. Why? We take this plus this, I mean this minus this plus this. Here there is 500, and this 500 is the one we have omitted there. So take 517,500 plus 81,600 plus 74,400. We get 673,500. You can see it has balanced. Total of assets is the same as total of capital and liability. We call this total capital and liability. However, in an exam setup, it's not all about balancing. It is about entries. You record the correct entry, because for every entry there is a mark. For every entry there is a mark. So master the entries. That is what we call the professional firms. Yeah. And just a simple reminder, just when you come across this video and it is helpful to you, just subscribe. Subscribing costs you nothing.